Second opinion. Hi, I have a Nordyne/Intertherm model E2EB015HB electric furnace. I've talked to another expert and had an HVAC come look at it and have had no luck. I'm running out of options. The original problem was one I had experienced before. The heating elements started to stay on all the time, even with the thermostat turned down and the blower motor off. I had previously replaced the sequencer and it solved the problem, so I replaced it again. This did not solve the problem, so I replaced both blower relays. Still didn't solve it. That's when I contacted the other expert and he made some changes to the sequencer wiring. Now when I throw the breaker, the heating elements come on and stay on, but if I turn up the thermostat the blower kicks on and the elements turn off. So I can get the heat in the blower to work but not in the correct sequence. I suspect that the sequencer is not connected correctly. I could send you a picture of the current wiring and the detailed wiring diagram for the model furnace. Can you confirm the correct wiring on the sequencer? Most of it is straightforward, but there seems to be some discrepancy between some of the actual wiring on the unit and the wiring diagram. Thanks, Dan. The yellow wire from the bottom breaker currently is connected to the M4 connector on the sequencer. This is a mystery to me. The gray wire from the transformer to the bottom connector of the sequencer is also a mystery. The black wire from the blower relay to the M1 connector, I'm also unsure of. The gray wire from the blower relay to bottom connector of the sequencer, unsure of. Thanks. Attached a close-up of the blower relays, hope it helps.
Hello, my name is. I'll be happy to assist you. It would appear that the sequencer is wired correctly, but could you do me a favor and turn the sequencer 90 degrees clockwise and take another photo? Also, can you move the wiring on the blower relay a bit so that I can see the numbers on it?
Hi Regan, I couldn't get a decent picture of the relays, but the top one is a Zettler #AZ2281C24A and the bottom is AZ2281A24A. I attached a couple of new pics of the sequencer with the terminal numbers visible. Let me know if you need better pics. I found the service manual for my furnace and my thought was if I knew everything was connected correctly, I could use my multimeter and follow the directions to test each component. My concern is that moving the wires around may have damaged one of the components I replaced. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Do you have the third heat strip or are you only operating on 2? I think I may see the problem. Do you have a blower switch on your air handler to turn from auto to on?
I do have the third heat strip and they all are working. No blower switch. I looked on both sides of the blower and don't see it anywhere.
Okay, great. There's only 2 in the picture. So you have a black wire from M3 on the sequencer to that third heat strip when it's in, correct? It looks like the issue is with the wiring at the relays. We will need to take the black wire going to no on the top relay and move it to no on the bottom relay. Then we should have a black jumper wire that connects to the high voltage wire on the transformer that goes to C on the bottom relay. Looking at the photo I see a black, from transformer, and an orange, from bottom breaker, that run in front of the blower relays but I can't see where they go. They aren't in the wiring diagram either. What are they connected to?
I'm a bit confused by the number of heat strips. Visually it looks like 3, but like you said there's only 2 connection points. I think one of the heat strips is 10 kilowatts and the other is 5 kilowatts, so I only have 2. I saw that black transformer jumper wire on the wiring diagram, but it's not there. The black wire from the left/rear contact of the transformer, in the picture, goes to the bottom breaker. At the transformer it's connected to a gray wire that goes to the blower motor wiring harness. The orange wire in the picture near the relays comes from the bottom breaker and it also goes to the blower motor wiring harness, no connection to the relays.
Each heat strip is 5 kW. There's a third strip that should go in the opening above the two heat strips. At the very least, that hole should be covered. So with only 10 kW you don't really need the yellow wire to M4. Can you take a photo of the motor wiring harness where the orange and gray wires connect?
I removed the cover from the front of the elements, easier to see from the breaker box. I attached a picture. Added 2 pictures of the wiring harness to the motor and the thermostat.
I see going through that harness the orange on the bottom goes to orange on the top. What color is on the top side of the gray wire?
No wire on the top side, just goes into the harness.
Okay, good. Do you have a crimping tool to cut the gray wire and put a crimp connector and put on C on the bottom relay?
I'll do it now. Okay, I put on the connector. Which is the C? Is it the COM spot on the picture of my old one?
Also, I was looking at the other pictures. In one of the first pics you had a gray wire from blower relay connect to bottom of sequencer, but in the pic that you're holding the sequencer the gray wire is with the black on M2. It definitely should not be on M2. It needs to go back to the bottom of the sequencer with the other gray wire. That is correct. C is the same as the COM spot. Then put the black wire on no of the top relay to the no spot on the bottom relay. Then make the change to the gray wire and take a pic of the full electrical compartment so I can verify everything.
Okay, here you go, I included a close-up of the relay.
All that's left is to move the black wire that's on no on top relay to no on the bottom relay.
Ops, forgot that, done. Well, it is still doing the same thing. If I turn on the breaker the elements heat up even with the thermostat turned down. When I turn up the thermostat the elements turn off and the blower comes on. If you're confident in the wiring I can start troubleshooting the components from the service manual. Let me know, thanks.
Let me get in my computer and look through the latest photos better to make sure I didn't miss anything on my phone. Can you do me a favor and take another photo of the full compartment? All wiring looks okay now. Try this, turn thermostat off and remove the white wire from the sequencer, make sure the end doesn't touch any metal. Then turn power on and see if heat strips come on again.
They still came on. Pics attached.
Can you tell if both strips are coming on? Do they get to glowing red?
Both got glowing red.
Something is very strange. If it were a bad sequencer then the blower should come on as well. Stand by a second.
I went back and checked it again, just the top row is glowing, not the bottom. Also the far left coil on the top is not glowing.
Okay, let's switch things around on the sequencer. Move the wires as follows, M5 to M7, M6 to M8, M1 to M5, M2 to M6, then turn heat off at thermostat and turn power on and see if strips come on.
Same thing, just the top row of coils glow. Weird that the far left coil isn't glowing.
Okay, let's try something different. Place wires back where they were on the sequencers, then remove the black wire between the sequencer and the top relay and see if the top coil glows.
Top is still glowing.
Replace that wire and remove the black wire between breaker and M2 and try again.
Top still glowing.
There is a short black wire between M1 and the left side of the tone heat strip, correct? That strip has to be shorted then. By removing the black wire from breaker to M2, there should be no way that strip should be on. Look inside the opening where the strip was not glowing red. Is that strip together there? Is it sagging and touching the strip below it?
Looking at it, I don't see any obvious damage. I've looked through other online threads with people having similar problems, and it usually was a heat strip. I can pull it and let you know the condition in the morning. I'm leaning towards replacing it.
Yeah, all signs are pointing to the strip. Let me know what you find after you pull it. I'm definitely interested at this point.
I received the new element assembly today, pulled the old one, and the fat left coil that wasn't glowing was obviously burnt. Installed the new one and everything works great. Just in time too, we at -10 last night. Thanks for all your help, great job.
You're very welcome. Glad you got it up and running again.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.